Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for tuning into my latest video. We have a client here who attends regularly every 18 months or so to have his left ear cleared of impacted earwax. Now, it's an interesting case because as the video continues, you shall see the reason why the patient has a regular build-up of earwax. So people get earwax build-up for a number of reasons. So for most people, the earwax naturally migrates out of the ear on its own accord. I would say that's for 90 to 95% of the population. At least in the UK, I can't state that that figure is universal around the globe. But nonetheless, for the majority of people, so 9 out of 10 people on average, earwax comes out naturally. As the skin dies and sheds in the ear canal, that skin migrates outwards laterally towards the entrance, and that conveyor belt motion also takes with it any wax that's sitting on top of the dead skin. Now, possible reasons as to why people get earwax buildup: it could be that the ear secretes wax much quicker than the ear can naturally expel it. It could also be that you have a narrow or twisty ear canal, or a very hairy ear canal entrance that mats the wax. If you use Q-tips, cotton buds, or you wear some sort of swim plugs or snore plugs, that can, of course, push the hearing aid, the wax further in. And if you were a hearing aid wearer, of course, that's going to push the wax further in. So they're the most common reasons as to why people get wax buildup. It could also be the consistency of earwax. If you've got very dry earwax, you get friction as the wax is migrating out of the ear canal. Conversely, if you have very sticky and gooey earwax or syrupy earwax, that sticks to the ear canal wall. It doesn't come out as well. But in this case, and you may have seen it already, but we will highlight it more, the patient has a real large recess, an indentation of the ear canal, the base of the ear canal, the floor near the entrance, and it will become more apparent. And what happens when you've got a big trench, is another word, or recess, as the skin migrates out of the ear, the skin gets trapped in this kind of widening this trench, this recess, and the skin can no longer migrate out of the ear canal because it gets trapped in that recess, and therefore that conveyor belt of dead skin coming out the ear is halted, and subsequently earwax, which will naturally migrate, also stops coming out of the ear naturally. And that's why this patient has a chronic buildup of earwax. So in most people's ear canal, the ear canal angle, so if you're looking straight ahead, the orientation, the degree of the ear canal is at an upwards trajectory of around 30 degrees. And evolutionary, I would suspect the reason why we have that up trajectory of our ear canal, in adults and children, it can be, in very young children, it can start off the opposite. You can have a downward trajectory, and as they get older, it goes up. But the reason for that, I suspect, is to help water drain. So if water's bad for the ear, so if you accidentally get water in the ear, that water has to travel upwards, up the ear canal, up that incline. So it's almost like a stopper. So water, it tries, if it does enter the ear, it kind of drains back out due to gravity. And here you can see, guys, here you can see this this recess. It's near the entrance, and it's quite a deep recess. You'll get some more angles in a moment. And there's a lot of dead skin in there. You can see the skin just at the edge, you'll see it in a moment, just there where I'm with a fine end gauge now. All this dead skin, it's trapped, it's inside this, this trench, and it's not come out the other side. So we're just using a fine end gauge now to suction this out, and the skin is quite tightly adhered. So going back to the ear canal trajectory, so yeah, it prevents water from staying in the ear if we accidentally get it. I suspect also it helps wax migrate out of it. So the skin, the conveyor belt motion is enhanced by, so if the skin, obviously the skin migrates from the eardrum out towards the ear canal. So in that sense, the ear canal angle is downwards. So I suspect that helps with the migration of wax and dead skin. And I also suspect, as most people's ear canals have got an S-bend, you've got a first and second bend, that curvature, that S-bend of the ear canal helps prevent objects that enter the ear, like a twig for example, going straight towards the eardrum and perforating it. In the same sense, having an upwards trajectory ear canal also prevents sharp objects from going into the ear and perforating the ear canal. Also remember, the outer third of the ear canal, the cartilaginous portion, it's made up of cartilage, and over the years that can lose its strength, it can weaken, and gravity can cause it to droop. So that's another potential reason why we get this upwards trajectory. That's because the outer third of the ear canal is a downward slope. However, even the bony part is slightly up. So I don't think that's the main reason why we get this upwards trajectory. And when you don't have that upwards trajectory like this client, as I said, skin's just going to get trapped inside that recess. So you can see we're entering the recess again. So it's like a crater. Well, that's probably a better word. A crater. And in cases like this, you can sometimes develop canal cholesteatoma. You may have seen one of my earlier videos where just in this region, this dead skin couldn't migrate. It became crystallized, solidified, and that skin got infected, and it started causing erosion of the ear canal, the floor of the ear canal, and can get very dangerous because that infection then can go towards the temporal bone, the mastoid bone, so it's behind your ear. It can be quite life-threatening actually when you've got canal cholesteatoma. It is rare, but it's when skin gets trapped in the ear. Cholesteatoma typically happens in the attic region of the eardrum, the top part of the eardrum. When you've got a retraction pocket, that skin gets trapped, it gets collected, it gets infected, but sometimes you can also get it in the ear canal, and that recess, that crater, is a perfect place for someone to potentially develop canal cholesteatoma. So we clean it regularly, we keep it clean. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and it was informational and educational for you, and I shall upload some more videos shortly.